Okay, so this is my design of Glam Rock Freddy. What does Glam Rock Freddy look like in my style? This is it. Which, by the way, I love Glam Rock Freddy. Fun fact, Security Breach was my first introduction to Five Nights at Freddy's. I was trying to scare myself awake because I was in a train trying to go to South Carolina. Long story. Anyways, this is what Glam Rock Freddy's supposed to look like. Now, if you notice, there was a time period where Chucky looked kind of like this. I don't recall exactly what it was called, but I thought that was inspiration for the toy animatronics, because the Chucky looked very polished and very, like, cutesy looking, so I thought, hey, why not make a toy Chucky? So I was trying to make what Chucky would look like in Five Nights at Freddy's 2. This is kind of what he was supposed to look like. Again, I could be wrong, I don't know, I just wanted to make him look like that. And this is Mangle from Five Nights at Freddy's. Obviously, Mangle's one of my top favorite characters in Five Nights at Freddy's, so this is what Mangle looks like. My second favorite animatronic. Okay. This is, I think I was trying to make me in the Mickey Mouse design, but I realized I'm not good at drawing in the Mickey Mouse design, so yeah, that didn't work out too well. This is unfinished. Every time I see something unfinished, I'm just going to say unfinished. This is what Chuck E. Cheese looks like in my style. As you can tell by the eyes, obviously, and the proportions, like the almost no wrist, almost no ankle kind of design. That, and also like the curvy, round, bouncy, squishy, almost collectible toy design. That is my style. This is what Chucky looks like in my style. I still love Chuck E. Cheese, by the way. I was trying to make the puppet in my style, but this is unfinished. Again, I love the puppet, but, you know, I couldn't finish it. Again, I have been pretty busy, so I didn't get to do too much. This is Monty, unfinished. This is the last picture I was working on. I'm still trying to work on it. Gonna make maybe a results picture or video or whatever on this sketchbook. Helen Henny, unfinished. This is Toy Chica, but her design is based off of the Five Nights at Freddy's fan game. It was called Five Nights at Frick Bear. I just say Five Nights at Frick Bears. You know, I know it's not a curse word. I get it, but my mom preferred me not saying words like that. I never really did either, so you know, I just choose to follow that. And unfinished. It was supposed to be Helen Henny again. Here is Chucky and Pasquale has like Chucky. This is like after a fair or a carnival. I wanted to kind of show pictures that express Pasquale being Chucky's father figure. He's his friend, definitely. He's a close friend of Chucky's. But I think no one really thinks too much about the whole Chucky being an orphanage thing. His first friend was an adult. I just want to point out, I think Pasquale was supposed to be Chucky's father figure. Because if you notice in the classic Chuck E. Cheese, the first ever one, when Pasquale was there, he wasn't afraid to kind of step up against Chucky, you know, his boss. So, you know. This is Toon Mania. She's one of my family's subscribers. She really likes my Chuck E. Cheese arts and my Chuck E. Cheese videos and my Chucky and Mangle videos. I just want to say shout out to Toon Mania. I'm very, very thankful you watch those things, because Chuck E. Cheese does not get the best publicity on YouTube. Like, especially with fan projects, we get some where Freddy's, like, vicious, but then we get some where Freddy is just, like, nice and cuddly. Chucky doesn't get that. All he gets is just being mean or being rude or being evil or being a murderer or whatever. Nobody makes too much fun media stuff about Chucky just being a good guy. So the Chucky and Mangle series, I'm not canonizing that. I personally think Chucky and Helen's my favorite if I had to go by couples in Chuck E. Cheese. But if I'm going to be honest, in my opinion, I feel like Chucky does not get as much publicity as a good guy, and I wanted to show who Chucky is through those. And I just want to say thank you very much, Toon Mania, for watching my contacts. It means a lot to me that you also like Chuck E. Cheese. I don't see a lot of modern Chucky fans nowadays. Not saying that there's not any, I just want to say the modern Chuck E. Cheese doesn't get as much publicity, so thank you. And this is a picture, well, a fan art of a YouTuber I like. not a real name, Captain E.T., you know what I'm talking about. She has a lot of contacts on, like, Five Nights at Freddy stuff and also some Digital Circus stuff. I also like her hot take videos. I like her analyzing the character videos. I love the dice game videos she has. She does a whole lot of Five Nights at Freddy stuff, and I honestly have to say, if she's watching this, I just want to say thank you for the videos you do, and I really enjoy them. I really respect what you do, and honestly, you're my second favorite. Actually, no, you're my number one favorite Five Nights at Freddy contact videos, because I haven't really seen a lot of Twisted Animatronics stuff recently. Not that he's going lower or anything. And I think Game Theory is kind of doing more things than just Freddy, so not a real name, not at all. You are number one when it comes to the Five Nights at Freddy videos for me right now. Thank you. Thank you very much. And this is me inside Kingdom Hearts. You know, Kingdom Hearts.
When you walk away, you don't hear me say, please, oh baby, don't go. Simple and clean is the way that you're making me feel tonight. It's hard to let it go.
That Kingdom Hearts. If you guys don't know what Kingdom Hearts is, this is a long story. It's a Disney Final Fantasy-ish franchise. When they do original stuff, though, that's where they shine best. It's a good series. It helped me out. One time I was sick for like 2 months or something like that, and I was watching Kingdom Hearts because I was thinking, I got all the time in the world. I never really saw it. And bada boom, I think that kind of got me into actually being a Disney fan. So there you go. Not that I didn't like Disney before. I just love Nickelodeon more. But Kingdom Hearts. Also, I like the outfit. Okay. This is unfinished, but this is fan art of Kissy Missy. Sorry, there's bugs in here. Well, out here. I'm out in the park. But this is Kissy Missy. She's from Poppy's Playtime. I'm going to be honest, Poppy's Playtime is probably the second horror thing I watch. I do have to, like, sometimes the blood in the franchise kind of is a little weird for me, but, you know, other than that, I would say Poppy's Playtime is pretty good with, like, the story. I know people are tired of how long the story's going on for, but honestly, I don't really hate the idea of Poppy's Playtime continuing, especially since Five Nights at Freddy's is kind of a stop-and-go franchise right now. So, Kissy Missy, yeah, I love Kissy Missy. I feel like she's very underrated. I felt like she was treated very badly in the Poppy's Playtime franchise. I hope there's more justice for her, because Kissy Missy deserves a whole lot of justice. Honest to goodness, I don't know why Kissy Missy doesn't get as much publicity as she should. And since before I made a toy Chucky, I was trying to make a Wither Chucky. This was more out of just upsetness of how everybody seems to minimize Chucky's importance as a character, so... And we always say stuff is Chuck E. Cheese's fault, and honestly, I think Chuck E. Cheese deserves a little more publicity as a character. I don't think it's fair that a lot of people kind of just make fun of him, because he's not the classic Chuck E. Cheese, because... You know what's funny? We didn't like the classic Chuck E. Cheese. We didn't like the older Chuck E. Cheese either. Chuck E. Cheese always had like a bad spot. No matter what the franchise was, it was always in a bad spot. And I hated the idea that, no, we like the classic one better. No, you didn't. You made fun of the animatronics. You made fun of the germs and all that. You made fun of the pizza. You made fun of everything else. But when it's gone, then you start wishing it was back. I'm sorry to some YouTubers, but no, you guys just don't appreciate Chuck E. Cheese. That's all I'm going to say. It's a little kid baby adventure world for you guys. And you know what? I'm overaged maybe, but I love Chuck E. Cheese. I love it. I love it extremely. You know what? Rockstar Chucky's my favorite. Sorry about the little tantrum I had. That was a little immature of me. But I do want to say, Wither Chucky, it's supposed to kind of show Chucky just, you know, it's when the world leaves Chuck E. Cheese. It's not if Chucky left the world or if he changes. What if the world left him? Without entertainment, without friends, without anything, Chucky is so broken up. He's so sad. Poor Chucky. I gave him the purple tears, almost as a puppet reminder or a puppet foreshadowing, if you know. Chucky just being done. It's a sad picture. I love the detail I put in it. It was so great, but it's also a pretty sad picture, you know. Oh, and unfinished Chucky Chibi Cheese. I was trying to make Chucky in a chibi design. I'm not the best at chibi designs. If you want to see better chibi designs, you got to look at my sister, Mimi. You got to look at my little sister, Mimi. She's really good at chibi designs. I am not, unfortunately. And I could draw different designs. Well, sort of. I'm still practicing on that. This is Huggy Wuggy, the main protagonist of Poppy's Playtime. I think everybody knows Huggy Wuggy by now. I did kind of thought Huggy Wuggy needed slightly more, you know. I wasn't really a huge Huggy Wuggy fan. I like Kissy Missy better. But with Huggy Wuggy, during chapter 6, 5, during the last chapter of Poppy's Playtime, I did thought Huggy Wuggy did got slightly more, almost like Jax from Digital Circus. I saw that Huggy Wuggy did have a story and stuff, and I kind of thought with Poppy's Playtime, Huggy Wuggy kind of deserved the story to be a little more earlier, but I like how they made him an actual character at the end. So, feel sorry for his fate. I hope things get better for him. So, there you go. This is fan art requested by Shadow Max. Shout out to you, Shadow Max, by the way. I love your persona. This is an unfinished picture of me. But hey, I got the clown nose done. Yes, I'm a hyena with a clown nose and a paintbrush tail. I don't know why. I just thought I'd be creative and stuff. Now, this was a character from a fan game. I saw Fusion the Gamer play. It was called Miller something. It was like a Five Nights at Freddy's wannabe. I'm not insulting it when I say it. I just mean there was this one character. She looked almost like mangled. I forgot what her name was. I liked their design though, so I was trying to draw in my style. This was another one of the last pictures I drew. I didn't finish it. Okay, so this is Billy Bob Bear and unfinished Looney Bird. Because let's be honest, Rocket Fire Explosion, I can't hate them. I like Chuck E. Cheese better, but because Chuck E. Cheese was the creation of arcade pizza animatronic bands, but you know, whatever. I love Billy Bob Bear. I love Rocket Fire Explosion. I'm going to be honest. I love those guys. Honestly, I wish there was a little less Chuck E. Cheese versus these guys. If people would stop relating Chuck E. Cheese as, oh, I got to be a businessman, and everyone has to be little, well, I have to be the star kind of persona. I kind of would have liked the other animatronics a little better and publicity them a little more, but, you know, didn't fully get to. This is Billy Bob Bear and Unfinished Looney Bird.